Kenya is a leading exporter in cut flowers, especially roses, because the breeders of roses feel confident to have their variety being exploited in Kenya. And so we have very many companies that have set up businesses in Kenya.
We're on the equator, so there's no winter. We can produce 365 days of the year. The altitude for our particular segment of the market is very important. You get larger rose heads, better quality flowers, because we're at 2,400 meters above sea level.
Because we are able to access any variety from any part of the world, that means it encourages investments into agriculture. The benefit of plant variety protection in Kenya is that it has really promoted agriculture trade. And because of the fact that we are sending into UPOV, we are able to access varieties of any plant cultivar from any part of the world, because the breeders are confident that they will get their rights protected and they can recoup back the investment into breeding.
The floriculture sector in Kenya over the last 15 years has developed hugely. For example, where we are now, when we started 10 years ago, we couldn't see another greenhouse anywhere around us. Now there's more than 200 hectares within our site. So it's a small example within Kenya of how it's grown. We grow around 70 different varieties of roses, and we sell those into 63 countries around the world.
As a breeder, you have to invest a lot of money to develop new varieties. You have to make the breeding. You have a long process of selection, and as far as roses are concerned, this process may last between 5 to 7 years. Then the first economical return will come after 7 years. You cannot do that activity without having the security for yourself to get a return. Obviously, at the same time, this tool, the plant variety system promoted and developed by UPOV, is fundamental for the growers, propagators in a given country, because it allows the peaceful exploitation of the varieties bred by the breeders.
I think one of the major things is that it has provided employment, and people are able to take care of themselves. Like the employees who are working here, they are able to take their kids to school, they are able to help parents. It's quite a very good thing. And in terms of employment, it is very safe and very clean.
My decision to be in this horticultural industry, as I said, that it's through my qualification first. I went to school and I did a diploma in horticulture, and out of that I'm also here because of passion. I'm really praying very hard that after some few years I can also venture into the business, I can also do breeding, and I can also start selling to the growers. So I also see myself being one.
Coming to the horticulture industry was not purely by choice. We would grow maize, vegetables and such. So I loved working in a farm setup. So I found myself in a rose farm. When I joined the floriculture industry, most of the expertise that was available was from foreigners, people coming from the European nations, and specifically from Holland. But over a period of time, this knowledge has been transferred to indigenous Kenyans, and we find ourselves in the positions that we're holding now by virtue of that transfer of knowledge. Now, very few farms are still relying on foreign expertise. Most of the managers available now are indigenous Kenyans. These are well-educated people. Now, universities, local universities are offering training completely oriented towards floriculture and horticulture. There are horticultural courses that have been developed, and we're getting more enlightened workforce in the farms. Previously, they would do breeding in Holland and only test the varieties here in Kenya. But now we're getting varieties bred in Kenya and testing done in Kenya. In the next 10 years, we'll start getting or seeing a lot of roses grown in Kenya that are completely bred in Kenya.